Imagine standing in your office, right? You're desperately waiting for this crucial, time-sensitive legal document to arrive.
A feeling we all know too well, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. But outside, the postman walks up to your front door, sees that your letterbox is already just stuffed full, and instead of, I don't know, holding onto the envelope or knocking, he just pulls out a lighter.
Oh, no.
Yeah, he just incinerates your mail right there on your doorstep, drops the ashes, and casually walks away. Meanwhile, you are sitting inside, sipping your tea, completely unaware that your critical contracts just went up in smoke.
It is a terrifying image. I mean, truly. But it is entirely accurate.
Right.
We see it constantly in the IT world. People tend to treat a full inbox like well, a minor inconvenience. But mechanically speaking, it is a hard wall that simply destroys incoming communication.
And that is exactly what we are getting into today. Welcome to this deep dive. If you are a small business owner, especially if you are in professional services, so we are talking accountancy, human resources, financial advisory, or maybe you manage a care home, this conversation is built specifically for you.
Yeah, this is right in your wheelhouse.
Exactly. Today, our mission is to look at issue 1 of a rather brilliantly titled guide called Have You Tried Turning It Off and On Again?
A classic line.
Always works, right. And this guide comes straight from the help desk at Magikos IT. We're going to unpack why that dreaded, tiny little, your mailbox is full, pop-up, you know the one.
The one we all just love to aggressively click ignore on.
Yes, that exact one. Why that pop-up is actually a massive organizational crisis just waiting to happen.
It is so easy to underestimate this, isn't it? I mean, as IT professionals, we constantly see business owners who have been essentially conditioned by consumer technology.
Right, like our phone.
Exactly. You get an alert on your personal phone about storage and you think, oh, whatever, I'll just delete some photos this weekend.
Yeah, it's a tomorrow problem.
But Magikos IT stresses a vital distinction right at the very beginning of their guide. In a business context, these seemingly simple issues cause severe downtime. You aren't just, unable to save a draft email.
Right.
Your entire communication infrastructure is actively breaking down behind the scenes. And the worst part is, your screen looks perfectly normal.
That is the insidious part. So let's get into the actual mechanics of that breakdown, because this is where the whole illusion of the minor annoyance completely falls apart. Let's look at what happens the exact second your account hits 100% capacity.
The tipping point.
Right. The first thing, and honestly, I think this is the most terrifying from a business operations standpoint, is the bounced email.
Yes, absolutely. The moment you hit that limit, incoming messages completely stop. Full stop. Anyone who tries to send you an email will immediately receive a bounce back error.
And it's not a friendly error, is it?
Oh, no. The system doesn't sugarcoat it at all.
Yeah.
It uses very cold, cryptic IT language like mailbox quota exceeded.
Now, put yourself in the shoes of your clients for a second here. Let's say you are a financial advisor. Okay. A client is trying to send you urgent tax documents. Maybe it's just hours before a midnight deadline.
A very high-stress situation.
Exactly. They hit send, and 3 seconds later, they get this quota exceeded error.
Right.
What goes through their mind? They don't think, oh, their inbox is just a bit cluttered. I'm sure it's fine.
No, of course not.
They think, is this business defunct? Have they been abandoned? Are they so poorly managed that they can't even pay their IT bills?
Yeah, it immediately erodes professional trust. It makes your firm look incredibly disorganized. And if we look at the specific industries Magikos IT highlights in their guide, well, the stakes go way beyond just looking unprofessional.
What do you mean?
In highly regulated, fast-paced environments, a bounced email is a profound operational risk.
Okay, yeah. Think about a care home manager, for instance.
Exactly. A bounced email, there isn't just a missed promotional newsletter about office supplies.
Right.
That could be a missed urgent medical referral for a new resident. It could be an updated critical care plan from a hospital that just, never arrives.
Wow. Or consider an HR consultant. You could blow a massive compliance deadline just because a sensitive employee dispute document bounced back to the sender.
Precisely. For an accountant, it's missing a sudden urgent query from an auditor. The business risks here are massive. And again, you, the person sitting at the desk with the full mailbox, you have absolutely no idea it is happening.
Because your computer isn't ringing any alarm bells.
No, it's just quiet. Blissfully, dangerously quiet.
Which brings me to the thing in the Magikos IT guide that genuinely confused me at first. I actually had to read this section twice.
Oh, which part?
They talk about this black hole effect. And I need you to clarify this mechanism for me because I always assumed, and I think most people assume, that if my inbox was full, the IT system would act like a sort of digital post office.
A waiting room, basically.
Yeah. I thought it would just hold my emails in a server back room somewhere. And then, once I deleted some old stuff and finally made some room, all those missed emails would just come flooding into my inbox.
That is a very common assumption, and it is mechanically 100% incorrect.
Seriously.
Seriously, there's no digital back room patiently holding your mail. When your mailbox is full, the system uses a protocol that explicitly rejects the incoming data. Those emails are not queued up anywhere.
So they just hit a brick wall.
They hit that hard wall, they bounce back to the sender, and they are gone forever from your end.
Wait, really? They do not magically appear once I clear space?
No, they do not exist on your server.
Yeah.
At all. The only way you ever get that email is if the sender realizes what happened, physically goes back into their own system, and manually hits resend after you have confirmed you finally have space.
Oh my goodness, that is exactly the incinerator scenario I mentioned earlier.
It is the postman with the lighter.
And frankly, if you are relying on your clients or your business partners to manually follow up and rescind things because your internal infrastructure failed, you are shifting your administrative burden directly onto your customers.
Which is a terrible business practice.
Right. You're wasting their time. And clients do not tolerate having their time wasted for very long.
Exactly. The black hole effect is absolute. Nobody wants to work with a company where sending an email feels like throwing a coin into a wishing well and just, hoping for the best.
Hoping it lands. Okay, so the communication breakdown is obviously catastrophic, but here is where it gets incredibly disruptive. Because it is not just your emails that halt, right?
No, it goes much deeper.
The guide outlines this massive domino effect on your entire cloud ecosystem. And I want to understand how this happens, because on the surface, my email and my shared business files, they seem like completely separate things.
Yeah, that is a crucial point about modern technology architecture. 10 or 15 years ago, your email was just your email. It lived on a physical exchange server in a literal closet somewhere.
Yeah.
Completely siloed off from your documents.
Right. The good old days of the server room.
Exactly. But today, if you are using modern platforms like Microsoft 365 or Google Workspace, which, let's be honest, almost every professional service business is, they use a unified database architecture.
Unified database. Okay.
Your email storage is intimately tied directly to your broader cloud drive. So your Outlook is tied to your OneDrive and SharePoint, or your Gmail is tied to your Google Drive. They draw from the exact same allocated pool of bytes.
Okay, let me try a jargon-free analogy here to make sure I'm visualizing this correctly.
Go for it.
It's like renting a physical storage unit for your business. You always thought your email and your shared employee files had their own separate rooms, but actually they share the exact same 10 by 10 unit. And if you fill that entire room floor to ceiling with old junk mail, you physically cannot push a new filing cabinet of employee records through the door.
That is a perfect analogy. Because they share that single storage quota, hitting the limit in your inbox completely paralyzes the shared space. The gridlock spreads.
So what does that ecosystem gridlock actually look like mechanically for someone, sitting at their desk? What breaks?
It means that suddenly, without warning, all the background synchronization stops. You cannot edit shared documents.
Wait, really?
Yeah. If you try to collaborate on a live spreadsheet with your team, it will just lock you out. Your local files will completely stop syncing to the cloud, meaning your automatic backups silently fail. You won't be able to upload vital records to your shared company drives.
Wow, so if I'm that accountant we talked about earlier, it's not just that I can't receive an email from the auditor, I physically cannot sync the updated financial ledger to my team's shared drive.
Right. The software will just throw an error
Yeah.
because there is literally no space left in the 10 by 10 room to save those changes.
That is wild.
If you're an HR representative, you suddenly find yourself completely unable to save a legally mandated employee file into the secure encrypted company folder.
Because the door is jammed with junk mail.
Exactly. Your entire operational workflow is paralyzed. And what happens next? You call the IT Helpdesk in an absolute panic, saying the cloud is broken, the shared drive is down, we have a major outage.
Right, it feels like a massive crisis.
But the reality is the drive is perfectly fine. The entire business has ground to a halt just because you have a few too many heavy attachments and marketing emails from 2019 sitting in your inbox.
It is deeply frustrating that something so massive is caused by something so seemingly trivial,
It really is.
which leads us perfectly into the next phase of our mission today: digital triage. Because now that we understand how catastrophic this is for business operations, how do we fix it right now, today?
The immediate fix.
Yeah. If I'm locked out, I cannot afford to waste 4 hours of my billable time manually reading and deleting old emails one by one.
Right, triage is about stopping the bleeding instantly. You need to reclaim space right now so the business can actually function again. And Magikos IT outlines some very specific high-impact steps here.
Okay, let's hear them.
The golden rule of triage is do not sort by date. Sort by size.
But wait, finding large emails manually takes forever. Am I supposed to just, I don't know, scroll through thousands of messages looking for those little paperclip icons?
Not at all. Use search operators. Step 1 is targeting those incredibly heavy attachments. The guide recommends searching for messages larger than 5 megabytes or 10 megabytes.
Oh, so you can just type that in.
Yes. In Outlook or Gmail, you can literally type strings like has : attachment size : 10 millibay right into the main search bar.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It is. Instantly, it pulls up those massive PDF reports, the huge PowerPoint presentations, the raw image files. You download the ones you actually need for your compliance records onto your secure local server, and then you delete the emails themselves. You can free up gigabytes of space in about 5 minutes.
Well, that makes total sense. Cut down the big trees first,
Yeah.
right? But then the guide shifts focus, and I have to admit, I read this part and felt very called out.
Uh-oh. Why is that?
Because I actively delete massive PDFs that come in. I keep my inbox relatively clean. But the guide says the real silent killer isn't what's coming in, it's what you are sending out.
Ah, yes. The sent items folder.
I do not think I have ever, once in my life, looked in my sent folder to clean it up. Once I hit send, it is out of sight, out of mind. Why does that matter so much?
Because you aren't just storing the mail you receive, right?
Yeah.
You are storing a permanent, heavy record of everything you have ever sent. And the biggest culprit here is the email signature multiplier effect.
Signature multiplier effect. Okay, break that down.
Think about your own email signature right now. What's in it?
Okay, well, it has my name, my title, a high-resolution company logo, maybe a banner for an upcoming event we're doing, and those little icons for our social media.
Right. It looks very professional. But mechanically, those are all image files. Yeah. Every single time you reply to a colleague with a one-word email saying thanks, you are attaching all of those image files again.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about that.
If you send 30 emails a day over 5 years, your sent folder is quietly hoarding tens of thousands of duplicate images. It is just eating your storage quota from the inside out.
That is horrifying.
So the fix is easy. Sort your sent folder by size and purge those old heavy threads. It is a massive quick win.
If you are listening to this right now, maybe on your commute, just think about your own sent folder. How many thanks and sounds good emails with your massive high-res logo are sitting in there right now? It is slightly horrifying.
It really is.
Okay, so we've tackled the big incoming files in the sent folder, but what about the sheer volume of clutter? The automated newsletters, the system alerts from software we don't even use anymore, old webinar invites.
The sheer noise of modern business communication. It might not be heavy in file size, but the volume absolutely adds up.
The guide has a brilliant tip for this that doesn't require deleting them one by one. You use the delete all from sender feature.
Oh, it's so satisfying.
It is. You find one of those automated marketing emails from, say, a supplier you bought office chairs from 3 years ago. You right-click, select the option to find all messages from that sender, and just wipe out thousands of useless messages in a single second. It is deeply satisfying.
It is digital spring cleaning at its absolute most efficient. But we do have to address the final step of triage, because this is where the entire process usually fails.
Uh-oh.
The guide is very clear about the mechanics of purging your recycle bin and your junk folders.
Yes, because people think, great, I dragged all those heavy attachments and old newsletters into the folder marked deleted items or trash. Problem solved, my inbox is empty.
And it absolutely is not solved.
Yeah.
Moving an item to the trash folder does not free up a single byte of space in your cloud storage. Mechanically, the server is still holding all the physical data packets. All you've done is change a digital tag on the file.
It is exactly like sweeping all the rubbish from your kitchen countertops straight into the kitchen bin, closing the lid, and just thinking your house is clean.
Yes.
The rubbish is still physically inside your house. It is still taking up space in the kitchen. To actually get rid of it, you have to take the bin out to the curb for the bin lorry to take away.
Precisely. In the digital world, taking the bin to the curb means you must right-click your trash, your junk, and your archive folders and explicitly select Empty Folder.
Right.
Only then does the system break the link, permanently delete the data from the server, and actually reclaim your storage quota. Until you click Empty Folder, you are still technically hoarding all of it, and your ecosystem remains in total gridlock.
Okay, so those triage steps, using search strings for big attachments, clearing the sent folder signature traps, using delete all from sender for the newsletters, and finally actually emptying the trash that gets the business back online today, the crisis is averted. The auditor's emails can come through again.
Yes, the immediate block is cleared, and the background syncing resumes.
But if we just stop there, aren't we essentially just bailing water out of a leaky boat? I mean, if we don't change how our infrastructure works, we are going to end up doing this exact same fire drill again next quarter.
Absolutely.
So how do we solve this permanently so we never see that warning again?
That is the pivotal question. And it's where the conversation really shifts from immediate IT support to long-term IT strategy.
Hmm.
Because you are right, relying on your staff to manually prune their inboxes every month is a massive, unacceptable waste of billable hours.
We have better things to do.
This brings us to the permanent solution, highlighted by Magikos IT, implementing an online archive policy.
Okay, let's debate this for a second, because I know the professionals listening, especially in finance, HR, and care, are thinking, I cannot just delete old emails.
Of course not.
You have strict legal and compliance reasons where you must keep years of communication records. If there is a dispute, you might need to prove exactly who authorized a payroll change 4 years ago. We legally have to be data hoarders to some extent.
That is very true.
So how does an online archive policy help someone who legally cannot hit delete?
Well, it's a brilliant structural solution. Think of your primary mailbox, the one you are looking at on your screen right now, as your active daily workspace. It should only hold what you need right now.
Okay.
An online archive policy is a system rule set up at the administrative level by your IT team that creates a secondary, highly secure, cloud-based vault.
Ah, like an off-site, climate-controlled storage unit specifically for your historical business records.
Exactly. And the beauty is it's entirely automated. You can set a rule that says, for example, any email older than 2 years automatically moves out of the primary active mailbox and into this secondary vault.
Automatically, so the user doesn't have to remember to drag and drop anything at the end of the month.
Zero user interaction required. It runs quietly in the background. And the result is transformative for the business. Your active mailbox stays incredibly light, highly responsive, and completely free of those dreaded storage warnings.
That's amazing.
But if that HR manager suddenly gets audited and needs to find an old dispute from 2021, they can still easily search for it within that secondary archive vault right from their usual email client.
So you don't lose access.
Not at all.
Yeah.
You maintain total legal compliance without sacrificing your daily operational speed. It saves countless hours of manual administrative time.
That sounds like an absolute game changer for professional services. It just runs itself. But I do have to ask, why go through all that trouble? I mean, why not just call the IT provider and say, hey, my inbox is full, just upgrade my account and buy me more storage limit?
Just buy a bigger kitchen bin.
Yeah, why not just buy a bigger bin?
Well, Magikos IT explicitly warns against that exact mindset. It raises a crucial point about how we view data security. Just because you can buy more storage doesn't mean you should keep every automated marketing newsletter from 2018.
Fair point.
Buying more space without a strategy is just kicking the can down the road.
It's throwing money at a behavioral problem instead of fixing the underlying system.
Precisely. And there are real risks to hoarding. A massive bloated inbox slows down your daily searches. But more importantly, it drastically increases your data liability.
Security liability.
Yes. If your system is ever breached, you do not want hackers to have access to 10 years of unorganized, sensitive client data just sitting in an active inbox.
Oh, right.
You want a lean, efficient communication system supported by a robust automated archive, not just an ever-expanding digital junk drawer.
Wow. Okay, so what does this all mean for you, the listener, today? I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. building on everything we've just explored from this guide.
Yeah.
We talked at the very beginning about physical workspaces versus digital ones.
Hmm.
Think about your actual physical office for a second. You would never tolerate a physical building where the filing cabinets are so jammed with old junk mail you literally cannot unlock the front door to let your clients in. We would view that as a severe health and safety risk, and frankly, a sign of a failing, disorganized business. So ask yourself, if your digital workspace is a reflection of your physical workspace, what does a hoarding, gridlocked email system say about your business's overall data security, your operational efficiency, and your respect for your client's time?
That is a great question.
Are you holding on to digital clutter out of strict legal necessity or simply out of habit? Because as we've learned today, those habits have catastrophic operational costs.
They do. It really requires a vital perspective shift. You need to treat your digital infrastructure with the exact same rigor, security, and cleanliness as you would a physical storefront.
Absolutely. Now, if this conversation has you wanting to immediately go and aggressively purge your sent folder, and honestly, I'm going to do exactly that right after we finish here, I highly recommend you read the full guide.
Definitely worth a read.
You can find issue 1 along with a wealth of other incredibly useful articles for small businesses directly on their website. Just go to magikosit.co.uk/articles.
Yeah, that's magikosit.co.uk/articles.
And if you are a local company based in or around Bracknell in the UK and you are realizing that perhaps you need a professional team to actually implement these online archive policies for you, you can get in touch with them directly to discuss having Magikos IT support your IT needs.
They understand exactly how these backend systems need to be tailored specifically for the demands of professional services. It's what they do.
They really do. You can reach out to them via email at info@magikosit.co.uk, or if you prefer to just have a chat about your systems, you can call them on the phone at 01344 204019. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We hope it helps keep your business moving forward, highly efficient, and completely free from those digital black holes.
Cheers for listening, everyone.
Until next time, keep your systems clean, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.